Molly, you cannot sit at the feet of my tripod. Yeah, Molly's sitting right there, right there. She wants to sit with me, and she decides, how about I'm gonna tilt my video and show you. Okay, I'm gonna tilt it up, down. I mean, can you see her? Right there. There she is. You know, wrong spot, Molly. Wrong spot. Anyway, just don't move my tripod. Yeah, she wants to sit with me. Yeah, but enough with Molly. Anyone with pets? I love dogs. I'm a dog person. I love dogs. Yeah, so hi everybody. Welcome back to Bring Love Indoors. It's Moira here. Thank you so much for joining me. Yeah. And my son is right here next to me, Jonathan. Yeah, the sisters at school. Yeah, they started school. The grade 10s went back on the 17th, which was Wednesday. So yeah, and he's still here. I think they're going back on the 6th of July. Yeah, but we're still looking at it. So yeah, but anyway, thank you very much for joining me. About this week, I was not able to upload a video this week. My week started off so hectic. Wow, I had a busy week, a hectic week, which I didn't anticipate at all. Do you see him? He's taking my chocolate. Jonathan, did you see that? Did anyone see that? Or just me who saw that? He's got my sweet tooth for chocolate only. Yeah, our sweet tooth only accommodates chocolate, nothing else. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, it started so hectic, and I was not able to upload a video on Monday, and I thought Tuesday I will, it didn't happen. Wednesday I thought I will, it didn't happen. Thursday I thought I will, and nothing happened. And today, for the first time in a week, I'm free and I've got time to myself and I'm able to do this. So yeah, I'm so sorry. But I'm glad that the week didn't go by without anything uploaded this week. So I'm very happy with that. So yeah, I'm sitting here today. We're just chatting. It's still about plants, but today's just gonna be just to talk, a Q&A. Yeah, all that. For those who know me, I love my teas. I love my teas. Yeah, I love my favorite. I only have 3 favorite teas so far. It's rooibos tea, lemon and ginger. Yeah, it's a lemon and ginger root with honey. Yeah, I like that. And Jonathan, I see you. And green tea. Those are my favorite teas. And I'm not a coffee fan at all. I love the idea of it. I don't love coffee at all. I love the smell. When I smell it, I like it. But drinking it, not good for me. So I stay away. I don't like it. I don't like the taste of it. I don't like how it makes me feel. I just don't like coffee. But I love hot chocolate. Yeah, I love hot chocolate with cream or without cream, but mostly with cream. And thirdly, I love my hot water. Now, those who know me, they always see me with a cup of hot water. If there's something I drink the most of all the things I've mentioned, is my hot water. And I'm sitting here with it in my favorite cup. It's written, let me show you what this cup is written. Can you see? Embrace the unfading beauty of a gentle and a quiet spirit. That's my favorite cup. So yeah, I'm sitting here with my cup of hot water. That's what I'm drinking. And my favorite chocolate, which my son wants to have all of it. And I'm hoping just the block, Jonathan, just the block. That's my favorite. Can you see that? I eat others, I do, but they don't do anything to me. This one, on the other hand, satisfies my heart. It does. It satisfies me. When I've eaten this one, I know I've eaten chocolate. Others is like, no offense. But anyway, let me break him a piece. Jonathan, say hi, since well you've been just... He's lost his two upper tooth. Say cheese. Look at that. all in one day, by the way. And hi. Two of them are already coming out. How super cool is that? There you go.
Thank you.
So yeah, so I'm sitting here with my cup of hot water. There they go. Can you hear that? You did hear that, right? So yeah, let's talk. Question number 1. I'm just gonna talk about. I just want to. Yeah, to answer questions I usually get a lot on my either Facebook page or my YouTube channel comments or my Instagram account. I get so many questions, but today I just selected a few of them just to, I thought I would just have, I thought I would just talk about that today, just what people ask about plants, what people want to know many times, and things like that, while I enjoy my hot chocolate, my hot water and chocolate. So yeah, let's start with, I have them here. The first one, a lot of times I get a question about root rot. Like, people want to know, how do I know that my plant has root rot? One thing I've discovered with root rot, well, many times your plant will look sickly, like it will look like it is not well, it will look sickly, it will look sad, you know, while you are doing all the right, while you think or feel you are doing all the right things, you feel I've watered it and you feel there's no pests on it, and you look at it, there's really no pests, but then it looks very sad. And sad looking, I mean, the leaves goes floppy and they turn yellow, and depending on what kind of a plant it is, some of them will start getting soft and soggy or funny. Then chances are you are dealing with root rot. And one thing I've learned, for me, when it does that, when the leaf starts turning yellow and yet the plant is moist, and you know you've ticked all the other boxes, there's no pests, it is not dry, and it has been going like that for a while, you know, the best thing is to take it out of the soil, inspect your roots, and chances are you'll find that you're dealing with root rot. And you can save your plant if you do that earlier, because then all you have to do is take it out of its soil, throw away that old soil, and cut away everything that is rotten on the roots. All the roots that are rotten, cut them off, wash it thoroughly, and then what I usually do, I stick mine in water. I call it, to give it, like, to just to allow it to heal. I don't know, that's my mind, maybe I'm weird, but I think like that, just to allow it to heal from that trauma. You know, and then once I see it's developing new roots, then I take it and I put it into soil, you know. But again, you can, I've had plants where they had good root system and I've cut away what was bad and I put it back into soil, clean soil, fresh soil, new soil, and then it took off quite nicely, you know. It's only when I feel what I've cut out a lot and there's only so little roots or not even a lot left, then I put it in water. Honestly, I do put it in water and I wait for new roots to develop, then I put it in soil. So yeah, for me, that's what I've seen, and I'm not gonna say it's the only way to see it. I'll be lying. Other people can comment. Please, if you know, please comment down below. We all learn from each other. But for me, in my case, what I've seen is your plant will begin to look very sad. Like it won't look itself. It will look droopy. It will look funny. The leaves will look like, the stems will start yellowing. The leaves will start yellowing. Things will just not, then it's best to take it out of that soil and inspect the roots. So yeah, and the other question I got on Instagram was the other lady was asking me with my propagation, because usually I post a lot of my propagation there, and she's like, wow, you're very successful with your propagation, but how do you get it right, and do you use root hormone? And the truth of the matter is I don't use root hormone. I allow nature to take its course. And I cannot sit here and say I've got anything against it. It's just something I've never thought of. It's just something I've never felt I want to try. It's just something I've never given a thought, I've always just took a plant and stick it in water, and the water does the trick. And all I do is make sure that I change that water regularly, yeah, and it works for me. I must be honest, it works for me. That's how I propagate. I don't use root hormone. I just take my plants, cut it, put it in water, and regularly make sure that I change that water. And before I know it, I've got roots, and I transfer it into the soil. And yeah, so yeah, I think the truth of the matter is, as you keep on doing it, you're gonna discover what works for you and what doesn't work for you. I prefer for nature to take its course. The reason that I love plants is because I love nature. I'm not trying to change it. I'm not trying to go against it. I'm not trying to make it something it's not. I love it for what it is. I do. I love it for what it is. I celebrate leaves that are falling. I celebrate everything about nature. I do. I love nature. So even when it comes to propagation, I rather, for me, I choose to let it take its course. And if that plant is gonna propagate and bloom for me, awesome. And if it decides, no, I'll try again next time, and I'll keep on trying it until I get it. But I'm not a fan of forcing a plant to do what I want it to do. If it doesn't want to, it's cool. I'm not gonna now force it to do what I want it to do, if you get what I mean. So I'm a nature girl. I love my nature, and I believe if you let it do its thing, it will do its thing. Yeah. So so that's what I do with propagation. I just cut, put it in water, leave it, change it. And if it was something that had root rot, while we were talking on the topic of root rot, if it was something that had root rot, I make sure I change the water more regularly than not. If it means every 2 days, because remember, it still has impurities, those from the rotten roots. So there's still things that are falling out that are contaminating the water. So you want to change your water more regularly if you are propagating something that was dealing with root rot. And once you feel you've passed that stage, or you've overcome to that stage, then you can relax a little bit and maybe do it once a week. So yeah. And the other question I get a lot is, why do plants lose leaves? One thing I've learned with plants is that, for something new to come, something has to go, isn't it? I mean, the way I look at it is that they're making room for new ones. They're making room for new growth, But then if it's losing a whole lot, that means you've got a problem in your hands. But if it's just one or two, not a lot, and it's good. It's a good thing. They're just making room for growth, for new growth. And even me, without them falling off, if I see there's a leaf that is not doing well, I chop it, because you're encouraging new growth. And also you rather save those nutrients that are going to that leaf which is already dying, and save it to go to where you need it to go to. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't be much concerned about it, unless if you are losing a whole lot at once, then there's a problem. If you're losing a whole lot at once, there's a problem. But otherwise, if it's one or two or three, that's nature taking its course. Really, that's nature taking its course, and many times it's just making room for new growth. You look at this one. I'm gonna try and get this plant if I can, without knocking anything over. Like this one, I'm going to give you an example with fiddle leaf fig. These at the bottom, they do fall off at the bottom, and it's okay. It's normal. They get brown, and it's normal. It's okay. But if a whole lot of them do that, then you've got a problem in your hand. So you'll see one or two at the bottom browning, and then they sometimes I even leave them to completely fall off by themselves, and then but other than that, if it's too many at once, then you've got a big problem. Then what I usually do, I've never experienced that, but what I would do if I experience something like that, make a research, or go back to the nursery and ask them, this is what I bought a plant like this, and this is what's happening to it. What am I doing wrong? And sometimes to be because it's not getting the light it needs. You might need to move it from where it is, and sometimes it might be because it's not getting the amount of water it needs, or it's getting too much water. So you might have to look into how you're looking after that plant. Is it getting enough light, or are you giving it too much light? And are you giving it enough water, or are you not giving it enough, or you're giving it too much? Things like that. So and how to know if I have watered my plants thoroughly. I used to have a problem with that when I first started with indoor plants, because outside I just put my hose pipe and it just keeps going, and I'm done. I'm not drowning anything. Nothing dies because of it being overwatered or whatever. But indoor plants is different. They're sitting in pots, and then how do you know you've watered it enough? What I usually do, I use my chopsticks, and I irrigate the soil. I poke my soil, like have holes all the way to the bottom, and then I water my plants. And usually I do it twice, because sometimes the first time around you do that, the water just escapes. It does escape. And how do you know that? What I usually do? I take a teaspoon, or I take that same chopstick after I've watered it the first time, and I let it sit for a few minutes. Then I tilt the soil to get a little bit in there to see. Then you'll see it's still dry. It's only wet on the top. Then I know it's not watered thoroughly. Then I give it another drink. So I always check. I don't just water and then I'm like, I watered. I take my plants. I don't know, I'm funny. I take my plants to the zinc. Unfortunately, I'm not like, I admire people who can water their plants at their station, meaning where they are sitting. I don't know how to do that. I'll make a big mess of it. I've tried and I made a big mess of everything. I take my plants to the zinc. I take them out of their catch poles and I let them drink thoroughly. Let the water drain out. Put them back in their lovely, beautiful pots and put them where they go after the water have drained out. That's how I water them. And that way I know I've watered them thoroughly. I didn't underwater or overwater. I've given them enough to drink. I don't know if this helps, but I hope it helps. But I know when I'm not sure, I poke the soil to see. how far the water went. And many times, if it was very dry, it didn't go far. If it was very dry, if you're, for the plants which you leave to dry out, because I've got quite a few plants which I leave to dry out, those ones I do more than twice, because I know the soil is bone dry. The first few times you water it, just escapes out of the pot. It doesn't go straight to, it doesn't wet the soil, if I may put it that way. Should I mist my house plants? I don't know. I don't mist my house plants. I must be very honest. I don't mist my house plants. I wash my house plants. So regularly, when the day I water my plants, I give them a good rinse and wiping, and I always have a water and dishwashing soap solution, and I spray them thoroughly, and I make sure that I wash every dust of them. Then I rinse them with clean water, and I give them a good wipe, and I water them nicely, and I put them back. And that for me is like a special treat for my plants. So no, I don't mist my plants, but you care. I don't know. I wouldn't. Not every plant is gonna love being misted. It is gonna enjoy you misting them. To be honest, there are those who'll enjoy it. They're high humidity lovers. Those plants that loves humidity, they will enjoy that. But some plants might not enjoy that, and you'll see the damage on the leaves. So first make your research before you go around with your spray bottle and misting every plant in your house. Unless if you have a cloth on hand after misting that you wipe. So it's something to make a research of, depending on the plant you have, to make sure that they will appreciate that. Otherwise, not every plant is going to appreciate that. And for me, the plants which I know loves high humidity, they're sitting in my bathroom, and they get that every day, every morning and every evening when we bath. They enjoy that high humidity, because then it gets all steamy in there, and I don't need to wipe them. They love it. They love it. I give them a wash still once in a while. Well, regularly, not once in a while, regularly. But they enjoy that. So just be careful. Not every plant is gonna enjoy you with your spray bottle, unless if you're gonna come back and wipe it off. But some will love you for it, because they love humidity. So I can't go off on this question. I cannot say yes and I cannot say no, because I don't know which plants you have, and what they like. So yeah, because some plants, if you put water on the leaves will rot. The leaves will rot, the stem will rot. So you need to be very careful. You need to know which plants appreciate being misted. So yeah, what is the other one? How to choose a house plant as a beginner. For me, I would say make a research, look out for something that is easy to care for, don't make the mistake. I made that mistake when I started with indoor plants. I didn't know the world of YouTube and plants. So for me, I just went to the garden shop and I bought the first thing I saw and I fell in love with. I didn't check whether it's gonna survive in my environment. I didn't check whether I'm gonna be able to care for it, whether it's fussy or not fussy, easy to care for or not easy to care for, what kind of conditions does it need. I just bought it because I loved it, and I learned a lot from that, because some plants didn't survive. And when I went back to the nursery, they told me to say, where are you putting it? What kind of lighting do you have for it? And they could tell me, it's not a good condition for you, for that plant. It won't make it. That's why it didn't make it. So don't make the mistakes I made when I first started. I would say, ask questions, like you're doing. Your syngoniums are easy. Your aglaonemas are easy to care for. Your Monstera deliciosa, I didn't have any issues with it. They're easy. I find them very easy to care for. Your zizis, your what else? Your philodendrons. Most of the philodendrons are very easy to care for. Your, I'm trying to look around. Your dracaenas, they're very easy to care for. Your golden pothos, your, you know, they're easy to care for. Your heart-shaped leaves, you know, those are easy to care for. So, but when you don't know those plants, my advice is go to the nursery and tell them, I'm looking for such and such. But first, learn your house. That's a mistake I did, because they will ask me, where are you going to put it? And I'm like, I don't know. So first, before you go to the shop, decide if you decide you want a plant, check where you're going to put that plant. If it's going to be on your coffee table or your dinner table or at the corner of your house or in your bedroom or your study, and then evaluate that environment. Do I get enough? Do I get a lot of sun? Or is it shady? Or, you know, and then then you go to the garden shop with that information, that I'm looking for a plant, I'm going to put it in my bathroom, I don't have light there, and I shower a lot there, so it's nice and warm and moist, but I don't have light. Then they will tell you what to get. Or I want a plant for my lounge, it's nice and bright in there, and yeah. Or I want a plant for my bedroom, but it's low light, it's shady, there's no sun coming in. They will tell you which plant to get, you know. So first, evaluate your space, and then make it, and then after evaluating your space, write down for yourself that the room I want a plant for, it's a low light room, there's no sun coming in, or I get morning sun, or I get afternoon sun, or no sun or whatsoever. Then they'll be able to assist you. But they can't assist you if you don't know those things. They won't be able to help you. They will tell you, they will show you the easy plants, they will show you the easy to care for plants, but it's nice when you have evaluated your space and you have that information at hand when you go in there to ask. And pests, I've been asked about pests a lot. To be honest, I've never had a huge outbreak in the house of pests. I've had small outbreaks here and there. Well, I wouldn't even call it an outbreak. It's not an outbreak. I've had a small issues here and there where I've got like 1 or 2 millibugs, you know, and all that. And all I do is I take my soap and water solution, spray that plant and wash it. Really use my fingers to rub the leaves, to rub the stems, and really wash it with that soap solution and leave it for a day or two, and then do it again and leave it for a day or two, and then the next time I bring it in the house, I give it a good rinse, and then it's done, you know. And I've never had issues, though I must say you need to be careful with other plants. They don't like that. You might have to rinse it, because I've seen I did that with my bird's nest fan, and I washed it. It didn't have any pest in it. I washed it with the solution, and I didn't rinse it, because sometimes I don't rinse them, you know, because I don't put a lot of soap in the water. So sometimes I don't rinse them. But that fan didn't appreciate it. Then it got like bright spots. After 2 days, it had like bright spots. And I knew exactly where it was coming from. It was that solution, which I should have rinsed. So there's certain plants which might not appreciate you leaving that solution on them, so you might want to rinse them off. But with me, I've seen all of my plants don't mind that, except for the bird's nest fan. I don't know why, but the rest of my plants, I can literally spray them with that solution and just take a cloth and wipe them, and they're happy, they're okay, they're not bothered. So yeah, that's what I do when I've got pests, and that's what I do when I wash my plants. I use that dishwashing liquid with water. And lastly, pots. I get questions about how to choose a pot. Does it matter what kind of a pot you choose for your plants? What I usually say is it depends on your style. It depends on what you like. For me, I'm one of those people. I do love my catchpole in different shades, and well, I don't like a lot of colors. I've got a few colors that I like. Now, if I can't find a pot in that color or in the style I like, I go for a catch pot, because you'll always find a pot in a style that you like. Unfortunately with these, they don't have a hole, they don't have a drainage hole. So what I do is, I then, when I get home, I plant, or I don't remove, I'm gonna try without making a mess. I don't remove the plant from its nursery pot. I keep the plant in its nursery pot. That way when I water it, I take it out, give it water, let it drain out, and then put it back in its beautiful, lovely pot, you know. So yeah, so it's really up to you. And then for me, the pots I really like, it's just that I don't want my whole house to be terracotta, but you know, terracotta is the best, especially if you overwater, or you know, things like that. It breathes, it lets moisture out, and you know, they are the best pots. And some of my pots are terracotta, and most of my pots are catch pot, and a few of them are glazed pots with a hole. So yeah, so it's really your choice. For me, I would advise you that if it doesn't have a hole, make sure that you don't plant directly into it. Just plant it in a nursery pot, and put that pot inside that lovely, beautiful pot. So yeah, that's it. Yeah, those are the questions, some of the questions I usually get, and I thought I will have a Q&A today and just chat about what people always ask me, and just a few. Next time I'll address others. I just selected those few, and then I'll do another video on the others, and I'll keep on doing that. I think I should do this more often. You know. So yeah, so I hope if you'll enjoy this, you have enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, or you want to add to what I said, or you have more information based on what we were talking about, it will mean a lot. I mean, we're learning from one another, so I'd like to hear your thoughts on each and everything that was mentioned, or one of them, or some of them, or something you wish I addressed and I didn't address. You're more than welcome. But nonetheless, it has been fun. Have yourself a fabulous day, and keep warm, because it's very cold. So I've gone through this whole video and I didn't even drink my water anyway, and it has gotten cold. But nonetheless, it's okay. I'm gonna warm it up and finish my cashew nuts and coconut chocolate. And until next time, have yourself a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful weekend, because it's Friday today. Bye.